Welcome to Sony Vegas, made quick and easy. Throughout this course, I'll be demonstrating everything using Sony Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 13 like you see right here. Also, my screen is reduced so I can fit everything on the screen, so that's why everything looks a little scrunched. Now, for this particular lesson, what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about the interface in Sony Vegas and tell you what all this crazy looking stuff actually does. But first things first, there's a couple things I need you to do. First off, if in your version of Sony Vegas this simple button is checked, I want you to go over here and go into the advanced edit mode. Don't worry, it's not going to make your life harder. It's actually going to make things more flexible as we work in Sony Vegas. The second thing I want you to do is go over here and choose project. And I know it's running off the screen, you can't see it, but then choose new. A window is going to pop up and I want you to select HDV 1280 by 720 30p. And I'll explain more why we do this a little later on. Then click OK, and we're set to go. We're set to learn this interface. Basically, across the top here are just some buttons that contain the stuff, some of the stuff we've already done, like project settings and things like that. You really won't access this stuff too much. Same with these menu options. I'm not going to go into all these specifically. Only when we need to go into them is when I'll point something out, because 99 times out of 100, you are not going to touch any of that. Okay, so this little block right here, this is an area where we will select the video files or photos that we want to work with, okay? It's where we can add things like transitions to our videos, where we can add video effects, tweak the way our video looks, and then we have media generators where we can add things like text to our video. So all of these guys are contained in this window or this block right here. This block over here is where we'll actually preview our video as we're editing it. And this guy over here is the sound level. And I'll talk more about this when we get to it. But what I want you to do with this guy right here, I want you to go up here to preview, click on it, and select best and full. And again, I'll talk more about this in an upcoming video. We're just getting things set up. Okay, now down here, this is called the timeline. This is where we're going to piece together our video clips and make our final masterpiece. Now, by default, Sony Vegas is going to throw in a bunch of tracks. Okay, so each block here, where this one says text, this one says video, and we've got these lines across here, these are called tracks. And by putting these tracks in here by default, it confuses the heck out of people. So what I want you to do on each one, click on it, and it will change color, then just hit the delete key. So what we're going to basically do is we're deleting all the stuff that Sony Vegas put in there for us. Again, because it's going to make your life a little bit easier as you learn how to use the software. Then down at the bottom here, we have basically the controls that are kind of like shortcuts that we can use while we're editing the video, and I'll highlight these as we get into the editing section. Now, the next thing I want to point out is all these windows you see here, they're movable. Okay, you can, they can go vertically, they can go horizontally. Okay, you can resize them however you'd like. Additionally, what a lot of people do by accident is they'll be moving their cursor around and you see these dots right here. If you click and hold that and drag, you can completely remove that window. And you can have it float wherever you want. Okay, well, geez, how in the heck do I get it back to where it was? The plot thickens. See, as I click and hold this window, it says hold click to dock the window, or hold control, excuse me, to dock the window. So if I hit the control key, the window docks again. Okay, so that's how that works. Or if I click this guy right here, he'll expand all the way, or this little guy, he'll go back to his spot. So you can basically rearrange the interface however you want. But let's say, for example, you start playing around and you're rearranging the interface, and maybe you got rid of that guy and this guy was moved over here. And by the way, each of these tabs right here, they have their own controls as well. So if I want to get rid of this Explorer guy, I click the X and that tab is gone. Okay, so I've been working around in here. I've got everything resized and I just want everything back to the way it was. Okay, here's how you do that. You just go up and choose View. And I know it's running off your screen, but it will say Window Layouts. And then it will say Default Layout will be one of the options. And it's running off your screen, but I'm going to select it. And boom, everything goes back to normal. But of course, since my screen's reduced, I got to move everything around again. So we can actually see what's going on. But that's the basics of the interface, and you'll get more comfortable with this as we begin to edit the video. But I just wanted to highlight what each section did and give you a couple pointers. The biggest one being that, you know what, you accidentally move this guy out. Well, you just go back and hold down the control button and it will dock again. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this video on the interface of Sony Vegas Movie Studio 13.